Welcome back to another video. The 15th episode of story which shows Naruto and Sasuke losing blood and chakra after their final battle at the Valley of the End. The rivals die before aid arrives, and the Biju decide to utilize one last gift from their father to offer Naruto and themselves another chance to make things right. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Let's jump right in.
Naruto and Sasuke were able to drop off the message from their Hokage just to find out that all she was doing was paying off one of her debts. The man was pleased and couldn't help but laugh when he found out that the two ninja had thought that they were on a real mission. The three men got lunch together where the governor explained how Tsunade had lost almost 100,000 ryo on one game of poker. Naruto laughed because that sounded pretty normal, while Sasuke lost a little bit of respect for his cage. After the lunch was over, Naruto and Sasuke parted ways with the governor. "Can you really believe our cage lost so much money in a single hand?" Sasuke asked, still surprised at the actions of their cage. "Completely, her nickname was the legendary sucker for a reason, and she's not a slut," Naruto said with a laugh. Sasuke smirked at that. It was stupid but it was still funny. "Still, it's crazy how that happened." Sasuke shook his head while chuckling. "I just hope we don't have to do more missions like these. With how vast her debt is, who knows, she got that nickname for a reason. She has lost millions upon millions of ryo over the years to a lot of people," Naruto said, which made Sasuke just groan. Out of nowhere, Sasuke was slammed against a tree, hand around his throat. Naruto's eyes went wide. He shot forward to try and intercept, but he was quickly attacked from the side. "Oh no, this isn't between you all," the man said before smiling, showing off his razor teeth. Naruto saw the Akatsuki uniform and his eyes went wide. He knew the voice and looked up, seeing Kisame, which meant that Itachi was here for Sasuke. "What do you mean I'm not a part of it? He's my damn teammate, of course I'm a part of it." Naruto tried to be careful about what he said and how he acted. "Kid, this is an Uchiha thing, and we're still hunting you. If anything, I should be your biggest problem," Kisame said as he shifted his stance and held his sword by his side, showing that he was ready to fight. "So you have two options: stand down and let them solve this. I won't fight you. We can sit here in peace, or you can fight me and die. It's your choice." Naruto gritted his teeth, but decided that he shouldn't fight the man. He knew that no matter what, as long as Kisame had that sword, he stood no chance. Naruto took a seat on his branch, deciding to think out what he should do. He just hoped that Sasuke could last. "You think you could hide the fact you unlocked your Mangekyo from me and thought I wouldn't find you?" Itachi said as his hand was around Sasuke's through in his mouth by the boy's ear. "I told you not to seek me out until you unlocked it, and yet you never came." Itachi quickly jumped backwards, barely missing the slash that was Sasuke's sword coming at him. "Who the fuck told you I had it?" Sasuke growled out, his normal Sharingan roaring to life, the three tomos spinning as he checked for genjutsu. "Pleased to see none yet." Itachi moved first to attack, pushing Sasuke further away from Kisame and Naruto, making sure there was no chance at the boy being able to help him. "I have my sources, don't worry, no one ratted you out. I have eyes everywhere. Or did you think I didn't? Like how I know you have a little girlfriend?" Sasuke's eyes widened. "It's pathetic. Love will get you nowhere in life, only hate will give you the power needed to kill me. It's a good thing I took care of her for you though," Itachi stated. Sasuke stopped moving. Itachi ended up flying past him, not expecting the sudden stop. Sasuke was shaking. "What the fuck did you do?" His voice was empty, and barely loud enough for the man to hear. "It wouldn't be my first time in that village. It's surprisingly easy to get into. All you need to know is that she won't ever get in the way again." Sasuke turned around screaming, ready to attack, but got caught in Itachi's Tsukuyomi. Sasuke saw Sakura on her mission and watched Itachi jump in front of the entire group. He killed the two boys who were with her like it was nothing before walking up to Sakura, easily avoiding a punch before he slit her throat. Sasuke's Mangekyo was quickly activated and helped him break out of the genjutsu world. Sasuke didn't stop there as his right eye started bleeding, his Amaterasu activating in a fiery passion. Itachi was quick to avoid the black flames, personally knowing how dangerous they were. "Good, come at me like you mean it. Or else I'll kill you and harvest your eyes from your skull." To unlock the final form of the Sharingan, Itachi kept jumping backwards, avoiding the black flames. Sasuke quickly stopped the attack, holding his eye. It stung, but the pain was worth it. With what he was going to do to this man, nothing would stop him. Sasuke raced forward, slicing downwards with his sword. Itachi blocked with a kunai, until Sasuke charged his weapon with lightning chakra. Itachi ducked to the side, avoiding being sliced in half with the pure lightning that was coming off the sword. Itachi quickly made a few hand signs and shot off a powerful fireball. Sasuke met the jutsu with one of his own. The two fireballs exploded outwards. Some of the trees by them caught fire in the aftermath of the powerful fire jutsu. Itachi was already behind the boy. Sasuke turned around but was too slow. His older brother quickly knocked away the sword before engaging him in a hand-to-hand fight. Sasuke smirked, believing his taijutsu superior to his brother's, but found it hard to land a solid punch. Sasuke finally saw an opening and threw a punch but was caught off guard as Itachi shuffled his feet, moving his body to the side, quickly knocking Sasuke off balance before landing a powerful kick against Sasuke's ribs. Sasuke jumped up quickly, avoiding another kick from his brother. He jumped back immediately, landing a punch, smiling, before the body exploded outwards, showing that he was fighting a Bunshin Daibakua, exploding clone, or that. Itachi swapped out with one. Sasuke Sharingan flared as he quickly looked all around him to see where his brother went. Being in the woods gave his brother the most advantage considering his time in Anbu Black Ops. Sasuke couldn't find the man and quickly jumped up, expecting his brother to come out of the ground. Instead he was attacked from the air. Sasuke was knocked back into the ground, cracking it as he landed. "Here, I figured you'd want to kill me. I mean, I killed our family, your girlfriend, who else do I need to kill to properly motivate you?" Itachi said, sounding bored with the fight he was having as he walked towards Sasuke. Sasuke's body started shaking again as he stood up, his Mangekyou still active. "You wanna see my power? Fuck it." Sasuke's chakra shot out as his body was covered in the body of Susanoo. It wasn't just the skeleton, but the entire body and cloak as it sat on the ground. A lot of the trees nearby were destroyed as the giant creature breathed into existence. Sasuke was already preparing an Amaterasu arrow, pointing it at his brother, whose eyes widened, not expecting his brother to have mastered his Mangekyou to this point. Itachi quickly entered into his Susanoo too, needing something to stop that attack. With a roar, Sasuke shot his arrow ready to kill his brother. Itachi met the attack with his sword of Totsuka, sealing the attack, barely in time. Itachi looked up at his brother before coughing, looking down and seeing more blood. He cursed to himself before looking up, seeing Sasuke attacking with his Susanoo with a powerful lightning jutsu again. The ground trembled as Sasuke and Itachi both lost their balance. Both of the men looked to the side to see a giant explosion, neither knowing who it came from and both worried about their partner. Sasuke turned back to meet his brother only to be caught in his Tsukuyomi, but not prepared at all for what was going to happen. Naruto smirked as he continued to sit on his branch. Kisame smiled back. "You ready to fight now?" Kisame's shark teeth flashed as he grinned. "You've let me sit still for too long. You've already lost this battle." Naruto opened his eyes, showing his toad-like pupils. Kisame seemed unaffected though. "So your eyes changed, so what? Every Jinchuriki can do that. You're nothing special, kid." Kisame took out Saimata, but the sword shuddered in his hand. "What's wrong, boy?" Kisame looked visibly disturbed by the fact that his sword seemed scared. "What's up with this kid's chakra? It doesn't even feel like a normal Jinchuriki." Naruto didn't wait and quickly made a small handful of clones before charging the man down. He knew he had to get away quickly to stop Sasuke and Itachi from killing each other. Naruto quickly charged a Rasengan that he filled with nature energy as two of his clones prepared some Fuinjutsu to trap Kisame. Naruto shoved the attack in Kisame's chest, much to the surprise of the ex-Kiri ninja, as he had tried to use his sword to absorb the attack. Saimata decided to avoid the attack on its own though, and Kisame was thrown backwards as the attack drilled into his chest. Kisame coughed out blood as he felt his lungs collapse and his organs start turning to mush. Thankfully he was still holding his sword, which quickly healed his damage. Kisame's face showed disgust as he yelled at his sword, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Work with me, damn it." "He's just a fucking kid." Kisame looked up to see Naruto throwing a punch at him. He quickly moved his head to avoid the punch and yet was still knocked to the side as he felt the punch connect, even though he could see that he dodged it. "Oh yay, I probably should have mentioned I mastered Senjutsu. That's why your sword won't touch me. It doesn't want to turn to stone," Naruto stated as Kisame's face widened before he grinned. "Oh, I see now. Oh, this is going to be a lot more fun," Kisame stated before he quickly shot towards Naruto, throwing the boy off as he had not expected this to happen. Which sucked because his clone just threw a Rasen Shuriken which missed due to the man charging him down. Kisame stopped in his tracks as he turned his head around, seeing the explosion behind him, feeling the chakra from the attack and seeing the destruction laid by it. "Was that meant for me?" the man asked. Naruto tried to look innocent as he shook his head no, but his clone charged the man down only to be destroyed by Kisame's fist. "Are you sure? Because that says otherwise," Kisame growled outwards. Naruto grinned. "Now," he shouted to his clones. "Chakra K Typhoon. Chakra Dismantling Seal." Two of the clones yelled as a triangle wrapped around Kisame, trapping him in a barrier. Kisame instantly fell to the ground as he could no longer stick to the tree he was on. "What the hell is this?" the man asked as he felt Samata go into a sleep, something that he has never seen happen and truly scared him. "As long as we keep you trapped in there you have no access to your chakra, nifty little seal my master showed me," Naruto said. "Kisame can't believe he let the clones take off on their own and let this happen to him. I know in a fair fight you have me beat all day, I did my research on you, I'm not stupid. So I had to outsmart you, you gave me an option to not fight. That gave me all the time I needed to collect enough Senjutsu to stop you, and I had one extra clone go collect more just in case. I took you on head first because I was sure your living sword wouldn't absorb this jutsu seeing as how unstable it is. I wasn't expecting you to charge me back, I was hoping that Rasen Shuriken would finish you off, but I had this seal left just in case. So as you can see, you lost the moment you let me stop and think," Naruto said with a grin before taking off into the woods already knowing where the Uchihas were from their chakra signatures. "What? What is this?" Sasuke yelled as he watched the events playing in front of him. "This isn't how I wanted you to find out, but I'm not going to live much longer. I'm sick and my disease has progressed further than I thought. I'm sorry little brother but I won't be alive much longer," Itachi stated as even in the genjutsu the man was still coughing up copious amounts of blood. "I don't understand." Sasuke was learning the truth but he wasn't sure if this was the real truth or not, it could be a trick. "Little brothers, if you've mastered your eyes like I know you have, then you know my memories aren't faked. Our father and brethren were planning to uprise the village in a coup d'etat. I loved our village more than anything, the only thing more than this village I loved was you. Myself and Shishu tried speaking with father to prevent this, I played both sides working with the Hokage in order to stop this from happening but it wasn't going to happen." Itachi's face showed just how sad he was at his failure. Sasuke watched a single tear fall down his brother's face as the man kept speaking. Shishu was going to use his Mangekyo to stop all of this with his eye's ability Koto Amatsukami, but Danzo stopped him. "Luckily I was able to get his other eye but Shishu's death is what made me unlock my Mangekyo. We just wanted to prevent war, but unfortunately there was little we could do in the end. I was approached with an offer to stop everything and I knew what I had to do. It's why mother and father asked me to take care of you." Itachi stopped talking to catch his breath, tears flowing down his face as he smiled. "I loved you more than anything and my biggest regret in life was not being able to stop everything from happening so you could live a normal happy life. I'm sorry little brother," Itachi stated. Itachi ended the genjutsu and when the real world had returned Sasuke saw his brother in front of him, their foreheads touching together, his sword outstretched as Itachi's body was impaled on it. "Please be good little brother." Itachi coughed up more blood, feeling himself getting weak. This battle was more anticlimactic than he planned. "I'll avenge you big brother, I promise, I'll kill them all," Sasuke said, his hand trembling as he held his sword not wanting to pull it out because he would lose these last few seconds to talk with his brother. Sasuke was torn, he grew up hating his brother when really he should have hated the village and everyone else inside it. "Not a soul who hurt you and made you do this will live, I will kill them all," Sasuke stated, his grip so tight his hand was bleeding, he was so angry. "I'm going to have to apologize one more time then little brother." Sasuke looked confused, this time his brother's crows were cawing all around. Sasuke was confused until he saw a Sharingan he didn't recognize. "I can't have you hating the village either, I just wanted to stop all the bloodshed." Koto Amatsukami, Itachi said, activating the genjutsu and placing it on his brother with one simple command, to protect Konoha. "I've always loved you little brother," Itachi said as his body started to slide off Sasuke's sword to the ground. "No," Naruto shouted as he approached the scene in front of him. Naruto barely caught Itachi's body in time and quickly felt for a pulse that was going away very quickly. Sasuke, still very confused and shell-shocked, wasn't sure how to react. He felt like he was moving in slow motion while Naruto came to him and his brother. Naruto took out an emergency first aid kit and quickly put an occlusive dressing over Itachi's stab wound. "Sasuke, hurry up and help me, I need you to help me keep him alive somehow, hurry and think. Reverse summon back home with your frogs," Sasuke said emotionlessly as tears were falling down his face, he was unsure of how to respond. "Toads, and damn it they aren't gonna be happy I keep doing this though, Kushios no Jutsu," Naruto said summoning Fukasaku. "Naruto boy, what is it now?" the old toad asked. "I'm sorry to keep doing this but can you reverse summon all of us back to Konoha now, it's extremely important," Naruto pleaded as the toad looked to see the Uchiha brothers and one quickly fading. The elder toad nodded, clearly seeing that time was of the essence with the amount of blood and damage given in the area. Fukasaku made quick work of bringing them all to Mount Myaboku. It took another 3 minutes for him to get to the village and summon them back there. "Thank you seriously," Naruto said about to take off before he was stopped. "Naruto-can, we need to have a talk later," First go take care of that one there, Fukasaku said. Naruto nodded understanding. Naruto grabbed Itachi's body with clones no one saw him make, and took off towards the Hokage tower. Sasuke was slapped by a clone. Get your shit together and get to Tsunade's office. The clone quickly caught back up to the original, helping maintain Itachi's body. Sasuke just stood there for a moment before taking off in pursuit of his teammate. You mean to tell me it's a dead end? All of that for nothing? Tsunade sat there with her hands folded and her chin resting, thinking hard about what needed to happen next. This had to be handled delicately or else anarchy would happen. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, but on the bright side we can start focusing on getting information to the other cages. I think it's time for a summit. The man stood at the position of attention, showing respect for his cage like any good jounin. As much as I'd like to have something like that happen, a 5-cage summit won't happen. There hasn't been enough to happen to warrant one. Ibiki. Taki was a minor village, so no one will care that it's been taken over. Most villages either don't know where their Jinchuriki is or don't care enough about what happens to them to make any action yet. There needs to be a major catalyst to set it off. Tsuan sighed as she leaned back in her chair. If she were lucky, the boys would be a couple more days so she could plan another bullshit mission for them to keep Naruto busy until something happened. Tsunade sneezed as her window was busted in. Ibiki charged forward ready to attack, only to be kicked back by a Naruto clone. Tsunade. Help now, Naruto stated, saying the bare minimum as he placed Itachi's dying body on the desk, knocking off all the paperwork. But this is Itachi. Naruto stopped her talking. No time to argue. Help now, explain later. He's fucking dying, Naruto yelled at her. Tsunade blew the hair out of her face, ready to get to work as her other window was busted in. This time it was Sasuke. Tsunade's eyes went wide, worried about what would happen, until she saw tears down his face. Please hurry, Hokage-sama. Tsuan knew she missed a lot and her hands glowed green as they were placed over Itachi's chest. I don't know if he can save him. Ibiki, go get Shizune, hurry. Tsunade barked out as she focused her chakra over the wound, trying to close it as quickly as possible. Naruto, go to the hospital with Sasuke and go get 2 pints of O. If we're going to do this here we have to hurry. Naruto and Sasuke quickly left for the hospital to get the needed blood. Tsunade sent Sasuke because knowing him he would order some nurses to get more equipment. It took a total of 5 minutes before everyone was back, and Naruto could see the ghastly white look in Itachi's face as Tsunade's entire face was covered in sweat. Shizune knew better than to ask questions and ran next to her, Shishu immediately helping. Sasuke went above and beyond, actually bringing a nurse who carried a handful of random supplies and the blood. Get the blood in him at a drip rate of 15 drops per minute. Shizune focused on keeping the opening in the back stable. Most of his blood loss has been right there because I can't control it as well from the front. The 3 quickly got to work before Tsunade looked at the 3 boys. Get the fuck out of here, if we need you we'll, yelled Tsuan barked out, the 3 men nodding and leaving the room. Once in the hallway the obvious was said. Was that Itachi fucking Uchiha? Ibiki said, confused, staring at the 2 boys. Long story, but yes, that's him. All you need to know is he's on our side, Sasuke said, staring the man down with his Sharingan. Ibiki just shrugged and mumbled a whatever under his breath. Sasuke, are you okay? Naruto asked, looking at his friend. I don't know, I wanted to kill him so bad, but now I know that I just need to do what's best for Konoha, and after what Itachi showed me I know that he is a rightful protector of our village. Danzo thought. He must be killed, Sasuke said as his hands balled tightly, his Mankigu showing before he took a deep breath, calming himself. First we need to talk with Hokage-sama though. What's this talk of killing Danzo? He's an advisor. You better back up those words carefully, Boyle asked Uchiha, or not. I'm the head of T&I for a reason, Ibiki said, his arms crossed over his chest as he stared down the boy. Don't worry about it, if need be Tsunade will tell you after we talk to her. The results of a mission with a S-rank missing nin are for the ears of our cage and her only. What she chooses to do with the information is her choice, Sasuke stated, looking down at the man. Okay, everyone calm down, a lot has happened. Ibiki, shouldn't you be interrogating our little gift we handed to T&I? We need as much info on Akatsuki as possible, Naruto said to the man whose eyes never left the Uchiha. There's no information to get, so don't worry, the Hokage will tell you what she will if she so chooses to, Ibiki said before turning around and leaving. Naruto groaned out loud as he sat down, rubbing his hands over his face and through his hair. Too fucking much has happened in a short period of time. What's next? Madara showing up and attacking the village himself. Sasuke crashed to the ground holding his head and Naruto just looked over. What now, goddammit, Naruto groaned to himself before leaving clones behind for Tsuan as he grabbed the boy and rushed back to the hospital with an unconscious Uchiha in his arms. Kisame entered into the base feeling weak and worried about Samada. wondering why no matter how many people he's killed, it still hasn't awoken yet. He took a seat, finally being able to relax since the fight. He was glad that his almighty leader hadn't called for him yet. He didn't feel like dealing with pain. With his sword MIA, he knew that he couldn't take on that man. Where the hell is Itachi? A man came into view out of thin air, appearing from nowhere. Kisame immediately knew who this was and groaned out loud. No idea, we went to go find his kid brother and the Nine-Tails brat was with him. The kid's pretty smart, seeing as how he was able to stop me. Madara's eye widened hearing this piece of information. No Jinchuriki should have been able to stop him. After the Nine-Tails brat left, all three of them disappeared. I have no idea how they did it. Itachi's fight with his brother was very devastating. I could feel the blows from their attack miles away and then they were all gone, Kisame said nonchalantly. Obito stood there for a minute, thinking carefully. What happened to Samada? Why isn't he healing you? Oh, so you noticed, huh? Turns out the kid is a sage, and his ability with Fuinjutsu is amazing. I don't know what he did, but ever since our encounter Samada won't wake up. I'm actually very worried, Kisame said with a grin as he held the sword close to his side. He then looked up with a wild look in his eye. With or without my sword though, I'm still very dangerous. Kisame looked like a wild, dangerous animal. Obito knew what the man was trying to tell him but didn't care too much. He had other things to worry about. Just heal up and figure out the status of Samada. I will figure out what happened to Itachi. Obito was starting to phase out when he was stopped. Just so you know, that was 3 weeks ago, Kisame said, still smiling. A nerve broke in Obito upon hearing that he may be too late now to get Sasuke on his side. Obito quickly disappeared. He needed to find out where Itachi was and what was going on before it was too late to deal with Sasuke. He had a very bad feeling about this. So how much did you find out? The man stood against a wall trying to look cool, and to most would look it, but not her. Why did I not know about this, Jiraiya? I'm the fucking Hokage, there is no information that I shouldn't be privy to, so how the fuck did I not know about this? Tsunade was beyond pissed. And why the fuck did it take you so long to get here, goddammit? I called you back 3 weeks ago. There were things I was doing and information I was tracking. Tsunade was about to punch the man in the face. Akatsuki related, not for my books. Time. Tsunade calmed down, but he knew it wasn't enough. Now please fill me in and I can fill you in. It seems a lot has happened since I left. Tsunade scoffed at that statement. You're fucking telling me. Naruto fucking shows up in my office unannounced with Itachi fucking Uchiha. Sasuke comes in shortly thereafter and they both want me to heal him. I mean, what are the fucking chances? The man's on the verge of fucking death. So I do what I can and fucking heal him enough to transfer him to the ICU, and then I find out Sasuke fucking Uchiha is somehow blind because he had the goddamn Mangekyo unlocked and overused it so much he lost his eyesight. The only treatment was to switch his eyes with Itachi's in order for him to get his sight back, and now they both have even more power because they unlocked another secret form of the Sharingan that hasn't been seen since Madara fucking Uchiha. Tsunade slammed her fist into her desk so hard it broke in half as she tried to calm down. Somehow though, the bottle of sake was untouched as she carefully set it on the side of the desk, balancing it. I then find out from both Sasuke and Naruto that Itachi was set up by the old bastard Danzo and Sensei to massacre his own clan. Not only that, but he's secretly been a double spy for years, working as an inside agent for us. Suan's hands ran through her hair as she was still trying to process all of this. What the fuck, Jiraiya? I know it's a lot, Haim, and I'm sorry I never told you about this, but I never thought something like this would have happened. Yes, Itachi is on our side no matter how it may seem. Treat him like a prisoner if you wish, because I know full well he won't fight back. But everything he has ever done has been for Sasuke's sake no matter how it may seem. Jiraiya took a breath before having a seat. Itachi loves Sasuke more than he does his own self, but at the same time he loves the village as a whole equally as much. When the Uchiha were planning their coup d'état, Itachi tried his best to play peacekeeper, but it didn't work. This was the only other available option, unfortunately. Jiraiya got very quiet as he let his words sink in. He's a better hero than anyone this village has ever produced, Jiraiya stated matter-of-factly. Tsunade looked at the man as he said those words, shocked that he of all people said that. Think what you will, what happened was a tragedy. There probably were some innocent people, quite a few I don't doubt. Itachi did his best though. He did something no one else would ever have been able to do. He stopped a war and murdered his own just to make sure his village and his brother were protected. He took on all the hate of everyone and took being banished, and still fought for our side as my informant. Itachi is better than any man, woman or child that has ever come out of this village since your grandfather the first. Jiraiya spat, running a hand through his hair as he poured himself a glass of sake, slamming it shortly thereafter. Tsunade sat back trying to think about what to say. She talked with a third and he said a bit of the same. But something about the way Jiraiya said it just resonated with her. The third seemed like he wanted pity for the actions he took because he didn't know a better way. Jiraiya stood strong with his words, confident enough to go to war with them. He fully believed in what he said. "I just don't know what to do right now." Those were the only words Tsunade could get out as she put her face in her hands trying to process everything that's happened lately. Jiraiya walked around to his friend and got down on one knee, getting down to her level. "Nothing is going to be easy. I can't tell you what to do. You're the Hokage. At the end of the day you make the final decision. Just make the right one." Jiraiya sat there for a minute longer waiting for some kind of answer. After a few moments the man stood up and turned around and started to leave. "Please don't leave me." Tsuan's voice was barely more than a croak and he could tell she was burned out. She needed a break, and unfortunately she was in a job where you don't get a break. "You know I'm never leaving you, Haim, but this office isn't the place to be. If you need me you know where to find me. I still live at the old place." Jiraiya left after he said that. Tsunade looked around her office and just finally broke. There was just too much going on, with the Uchiha brothers, to Naruto, to Akatsuki. Then Teri's relations with the other villages, and her feelings for Jiraiya. "Oh god, do I have feelings for that fucking buffoon? Fuck." Tsunade just screamed out to herself, not knowing what else to do with everything backed up inside her. She was already crying. What's a little bit of screaming like a fucking psycho? After a few more minutes Tsunade took a very deep breath. She stood up and fixed her hair. She looked around her office and got to work on cleaning it up. "Hokage-sama, let us handle this." An Anbu with a bear mask appeared in front of her, kneeling, looking down as he spoke. "Bear, if you want to help go find a new desk to bring in here. You know who to ask. I'm going to throw out this one and clean up a little bit." The Anbu nodded and disappeared to get Tenzo. Tsuan started picking up the office a little bit. She opened her window and threw out the two halves of her desk after getting out all of her pertinent paperwork. She put her room a little bit together and then grabbed her bottle of sake, looking at it. "Only one other thing for me to do tonight," she thought to herself as she jumped out her window looking for her friend. "B, are you there?" The boy let himself into the hut hoping to find his friend and teacher. "Now you know I'm asleep. Get out. I don't want to hear a peep." The man raped as he threw a pillow. "Stop the rap bullshit, it's me, Mr. 8. He threw the pillow back but it was caught by a pillow. "Shut up, Ninio. I know who you are. What are you doing here? Jiraiya said you wouldn't be here for a few more weeks." B sat up as he scratched his head. "Yay, forgot that. I left a clone behind. He's steadily using Sage Mode to keep himself active long-term and keep his chakra reserves full. I don't have time to wait anymore. We need to start acting now. Akatsuki isn't going to sit back and wait, and I have a bad feeling," Naruto said as he put his hand over his stomach. "Well, what's going on? Why do you say that's what happened?" B had his concerns now. On his end not too much had changed besides him working his pupils harder and making sure all his students are stronger than before. "I never really noticed it, but small things have been changing over the course of the last few years since we came back. I didn't really notice it or pay attention to it, but things are different. It's my fault too. I was too worried about changing things, but I was the only one. Everyone else was changing and doing better but me, and now it may be too late." Naruto's arms were shaking slightly. It was easy to tell he was hurting and taking it out on himself. "Kid, we all did what we had to do, but don't attack yourself. I'll do what I can to help you, but for now go get some rest," B said before he turned back over in his bed trying to get some sleep. "Itachi Uchiha is back in my village." Naruto could feel the air in the room getting colder when he said that. "Why is that man back in your village? Isn't he like a psycho murderer?" B was now more awake than he wanted to be. "I thought I told you. Long story short, he's a good guy. He showed up randomly and attacked Sasuke. Sasuke nearly fucking killed him though. I was able to get him back to Tsunade with the man on death's doorstep. She was able to help him barely, but now she knows about what really happened. I had to tell her, which led to her talking to the old man third, and I'm assuming by now Erozenin, unless she hasn't located him yet, which she will then soon," Naruto stated while rubbing the back of his head. "Fuck kid, you got a lot of shit going on, but what exactly is it that's got you on this road, bro? We all want to do better, but are you sure it's time? Something happened last time, something I realized none of the other Jinchuriki remember, and I don't think even the Baijiu remember for some odd reason either," Naruto stated, which had the man raise his eyebrow. Naruto let out a loud sigh. "When I was trying to free all the other Baijiu during the war, for a moment all of time was stopped and we were somewhere else." The man looked confused. "Kind of like your inner world, except it wasn't just me and Kurama, but me and all of the other Baijiu with their current Jinchuriki. We all talked, and all of the Baijiu told me they believed in me. They all even gave me some of their chakra. I was able to hold on to it all the way up until I came back. Naruto took a break to breath before continuing. When I came back, none of the Baijuwu seemed to remember that moment for some reason. Everyone had their memories up until their Baijuwu was ripped out of them and they were killed, save for you of course. I don't want to have to recreate that moment if I don't have to. I want to be able to save everyone, not tell them all after they die that I'll do my best. I had to fight Akatsuki not that long ago. I should have torn them to fucking pieces with my Sage Mode. Naruto stopped. This was the second time admitting this and it still hurt. I wasn't fucking strong enough. 2 lower-ranked Akatsuki members held me off in Sage Mode by themselves. Ranked or not, that should not be possible. I know that group like the back of my hand. I had to because what happened last time, something is off and if they're that strong. I don't know what's going to happen when we fight Obito, but if I'm this weak, then honestly I'm terrified of what's going to happen. When we first came back I was miles ahead of everyone else. It's like everyone else from my village stayed the same, at least the ones I know of, but everywhere else, and everyone else is beyond stronger. Naruto didn't know what to do. He wanted to keep ranting but the man stopped him. I understand shit came fast, and happened fast. We can train until our arms fall off and our beasts regrow them for us. But this will take time either which way, and they still haven't declared war yet. We can keep an edge on them. Jiraiya and myself have been keeping in touch with the other Jinchuriki best we can. So far all has been good besides with the 6 tails of course. I heard what happened to Taki. None of the others have been fucked with yet, and if they have I haven't heard about it yet. They all check in within a month or 2. If one doesn't I go personally, and I let Jiraiya know so he can go check it out if possible. Naruto nodded his head as he sat on the couch. It's not easy, everything has been crazy and all over the place, and we are all doing our best. At some time though you have to go with the flow, take missions, let the world continue as normal, do what you can to survive, and when shit hits the wall you roll with the punches. Naruto stopped the man. I had this talk before and I feel fine afterwards but it doesn't last long. I still because shit hits the wall, I roll with the punches and I see that everything has fucking changed a crazy lot and it throws me off and then I feel like I can't breath and Naruto started to talk as he bent over trying to breath. B grabbed him by the shoulders and pulled him up. Okay, deep long breaths right now, you're having a panic attack, you need to calm down. It's not easy but you need to try. Now deep long breaths, slow down your breathing. B didn't realize how much pressure the kid was putting on himself. It seemed everyone was starting to see that, was starting to see it, and the kid wasn't realizing it. He wasn't relaxing, he was too scared about the future, knowing too much was really destroying him. People say you don't want to know the future because it could mess you up, of course not too many people come from the future. B could see now how much damage Naruto was getting. The boy was starting to slowly calm down, all the hyperventilating was making the boy tired, plus he just crossed an entire continent to get here, the boy's gotta be dead tired. Come on Naruto, lay down and get some sleep, we can continue later on after you've rested, but sleep comes first. B got up and forced the boy to lay down on his couch. He put a blanket over the kid before going back to his own bed. Naruto was passed out before B got comfy in his bed. A wall exploded as the man laughed. Everyone around who knew him was normally fearful of him, but the last few years it had gotten worse. Their master had submerged himself in non-stop research, conducting experiment after experiment. Everyone has long since forgotten why they decided to follow this man, because every day they followed him was another day of fear. Years ago when they recruited to follow this man, he had a real dream, true passion and something everyone could get behind personally. Something changed though, he became more evil, more terrifying. His demeanor changed, and his aura was foul. Everywhere he walked a trail of bodies followed him. A low sound started to echo the hallways, people looked up knowing what it was. His laugh was enough to make people see their lives flash before them. Children cried, women hid in corners or covered their children, and men just broke down, knowing they were useless to stop any kind of advance the man had. It was pitiful. All the men were shinobi, or bandits respected in their tribes and villages, but here they were nothing. Okay, who's willing to volunteer next? Master Orochimaru is still testing out his new body. You're all very unlucky that dear Guren survived the process. It was going to be the three-tailed Jinchuriki but plans changed, and now we have another powerful body for Lord Orochimaru. He's having so much fun testing out his new power, now who's ready to try and fight for their freedom? If you can beat Orochimaru we will let you go, no questions asked. The man fixed his glasses as he held a small clipboard with everyone's names on it. Now come on, either volunteer or you'll be voluntold. People started looking around before a small group of men stood up. The smallest man stepped forward. We will do it. The 4 of us are willing to try and stop that monster. Lead us to him, Kabuto. The boy spat out the name. Kabuto smiled as he opened the cell door. "Follow me." Then he turned around leading the way, trying to hold back his laugh as the group followed him. Things were going wonderfully, soon no one would be able to stop them. Has there been any new leads yet? Nagato was starting to get fed up with Madara and his excuses. Kisame returned empty-handed, on the verge of death, with his own sword in a hibernation. Itachi was missing, and no one had turned in any new information on the Baijiu yet. Nor any kind of report. He could tell that Madara had some information that he wasn't saying either, and he was getting tired of it. Obito sat on the ledge of Nagato's building, the rain pelting him, but he was unaffected by it, having become more than used to it over the years. "Nothing, I'm still waiting on Zetsu to bring back some kind of news. I'm not sure where Itachi went. I feel like he's the reason Kisame is so hurt. I don't see how the QB brat could have done that much damage by himself. But I've been wrong before, so until I find everything out I'm not gonna place all my chips on one bet. When I know more you'll know more. For now focus on the plan. Check in on everyone and see what their status is." Obito stood up. Before he left he turned to face the man. "Don't forget what we're working for, what Yahiko sacrificed for." Obito stood up to leave before turning around. "Go ahead and summon everyone. We need to seal the Matatabi." Luckily Kisame brought her back before Itachi disappeared. With that, Obito walked off the ledge off the building while simultaneously teleporting himself away. Nagato's face turned to anger as he slammed his fist against the wall. Konan walked out of the shadows. "Are you okay, Nagatoken?" The woman's face was fair, but you could see the sadness she held for her friend. She rested a hand on his shoulder and he looked down at her. "Thank you for being here for me. I feel like you're the only one I can trust. While Madara helped us get the group to where it is, I can't help but wonder if what we're doing is what Yahiko would really want. The longer this drags on, the more I can't help but wonder. We're all so powerful and yet I feel like we will never reach the end. Yahiko wanted peace for all, to bring happiness to our country and help the world. He followed Jiraiya's teachings to the letter, and now we're on opposite sides with our own teacher." Konan looked at her oldest friend, her face dropping. She had the same doubts, but ever since Yahiko's death, and Nagato defeating Hanzo, she knew that she would follow him anywhere. "No matter what you decide I will follow you, Nagato-kun. I always have and I always will. If you wanted to give all of this up I would follow you. If you wanted to destroy the entire world I would follow you. You're all I have left, and there's nothing I won't do that you ask of me. As long as you're happy I will follow you." Nagato smiled upon hearing this. He didn't realize how much the women cared for him, but it should have been obvious. "I just want to bring peace to this world is all." Nagato looked outside his balcony at his country, his people. "I freed our country, but the rain still hasn't stopped yet. Our people still don't know true freedom, and I don't know any other way than what Madara has shown us. So for now I just have to hope that his plan works. Just a handful of Baijiu left until we can revive the Juubi, then I use the Rinnegan to fully revive Madara and everything will be set. He will become the Jinchuriki of that monster and can enact his plan." His voice seemed to fall at the part of sacrificing himself, but his smile didn't leave his face. "I just want to make sure you and everyone else can live happily forever, a never-ending peace," Nagato stated. Though Kanana stared at her friend, she didn't want to see him go. He was all she had left, the only remnants of her past, besides their sensei, but that's a gray zone. "Are you certain this is the right thing to do though? You know I will back you, but is this what you want?" "I'm not sure, but we've gone too far to back out now, unless we find a better option. This is what we are to do. Just promise me one thing though." Konan looked at her friend as his purple eyes stared into her. "If I die, destroy these eyes, they are too powerful." Kanana widened her eyes, but shook her head yes, making sure the man knew that she understood. Konan hugged her friend, the two resting their foreheads against each other, just enjoying being close to one another. "Go ahead and do as he says. Let's call everyone together to seal away the two tails and find out what the status of everyone else is." Konan nodded as she left to call everyone via their rings. "Let us go, Kabuto." Everything around them was crystal, the base they were in reduced to nothing and blood was splattered everywhere. Orochimaru hadn't felt this strong in years, not since his true prime. He flexed his hands as his chakra flew off his body, his aura rolling off him in waves. He was in Guren's body instead of transforming into himself, but he didn't mind the female form, he kind of liked it. "Where are we going?" Orochimaru-sama, his most loyal servant, asked as he sat on one knee in front of the woman. "We're going to go find a Jinchuriki. I've realized the only way to truly become as powerful as possible is to take over the body with a Baijiu inside it. The extra chakra reserves and healing factor mixed with my soul and consciousness. I will be indestructible. I won't need immortality. Hell, I will barely even need the Sharingan then. I'm strong now, but if I can get a Jinchuriki and master the Baijiu's power inside it, no one will be able to stop me, not even Nagato. It's a shame Yukimaru died. With that boy's body and if the three tails sealed inside him, I would be indestructible. Orochimaru laughed to himself. Still funny to think that Kid Jiraiya trained so long ago became so powerful. I should have stolen his eyes when I had the chance. Orochimaru chuckled to himself. No reason to live in the past though. Let us go, Kabuto. Even if Pain checks in, we can tell him we're looking for a Baijiu for him, helping him complete his plans. What about the project he set you on with the white Zetsu to help heal his body? What will you do when he asks about that? Kabuto had every reason to fear Pain. He made taking on Orochimaru child's play. He stood no chance against that man, and at the end of the day his survival was more important than anything else. Well, as you can see with no base, there are no more white Zetsu to experiment on, and it's not like I can contact the man directly, so let's go. No reason to waste time. Orochimaru started walking to his next base. He needed to get in touch with his spy network to see what they've dug up on the locations of the remaining Baijuo. As you wish, master, though I feel like you went a bit overboard here. You could have at least salvaged the base itself. Kabuto smiled though. He never thought Orochimaru would get this kind of power back. If they attacked Konoha again, no one would be able to stop them. Orochimaru chuckled. I couldn't help myself. I had to see how strong I was in this body. With that, the two took off, Kabuto headless following his master, excited to see where the journey was going to lead them now. Most of the world thought the man dead. His return will be very interesting indeed. B bent over, breathing hard as he looked up at his friend. Damn, Mr. 9, you're getting stronger with every passing day. I can try you all, but no way in hell can I rap every speaking line for this guy. I don't get paid to do this. Yay, it helped I threatened Jiraiya into giving me the key. I couldn't sit around waiting for Jiraiya. Everyone can be mad at me all they want. Sure, I technically deserted my village, but Hinata knows where I am and that's all that matters. Jiraiya and Tsunade can probably know too because of the toads, but I don't care. No one's tried to stop me and I'm not letting them. You and me, we can do this. We can make a difference. For now though, we need to train. I just hope our siblings can stay strong until we defeat Obito. B looked at the kid and couldn't help but sigh. Naruto had changed over the years. He's the same guy deep down, but his way about going over things had become more extreme. He understood why he was doing it this way. He always carried everyone's problems on his shoulders. He just hoped that once this was all over he could go back to being the same happy kid he once knew. B stood up, tapping into the Hachibi's chakra, revitalizing himself. Naruto went into his chakra cloak mode and faced the man down. Alright you fool, bring it on, cause we ain't stopping until those clowns are dead yet, B shouted as he took off spinning with his swords attached to his body. Naruto widened his eyes, holding two kunai, defending himself best he could. They had been doing this for 2 weeks now. Naruto felt himself getting better with each passing day, though he was a bit salty that Kurama made him fight again for his chakra. But he couldn't deny that was fun too. They both went all out, but once he was in Sage mode, the fox didn't stand a chance. All of a sudden the entire area around them started shaking. B turned his head as his face dropped in horror. Oh no, yo, big bro, ready to beat me down? Naruto tried not to laugh at that shit rhyme. He failed horribly. Damn it, B, where the hell have you been? A broke down the wall separating the two from the outside world. Who the hell said you could steal the Ninetales brat and disappear? B's face dropped as he tried to come up with some kind of excuse as the Raikage walked over to his brother and grabbed him by the scruff of his neck. Bro, it ain't what it seems like. We have a damn good reason, so we cut him off. It doesn't matter your fucking reason, because you were gone they got you. Gito B and Naruto both looked up. B's fist clenching so tight he actually broke one of his swords, his hand being cut open, and yet he never wavered as the wound was already healing. She was sent out on a mission a while ago, and it was taking longer than expected, and she isn't one to not update me. I set out a team. It was Akatsuki. Parts of their cloak was left behind. Everyone on the team died, but she was missing. B looked over at Naruto. You wanted to finish this, and now we finish this. We need to go and find the other Jinchuriki still alive. War is coming. A looked at his brother, shocked. He never heard B talk for so long without raping. You can forget it. I've already sent a team. Obi is leading. B cut his brother off. Let's go, Mr. 9, I'm done listening. We need to save my sister and everyone else. Naruto smirked, opening his eyes as his chakra cloak activated. I stared down his brother. You want to take on two Jinchuriki who've mastered their Baijiu and see what happens, but we're going big, bro. Make yourself useful and inform Hokage and Jiraiya. Alert the other villages. Do whatever you have to make people listen. A's fist was shaking as he was gripping his bicep, his arms crossed over his chest. He let out a heavy sigh before he responded. They were last seen walking with her in grass country. Obi was sent that way 2 days ago with a squad of 5 other competent jounin. If you hurry you might be able to catch up to them. B nodded and Naruto got the biggest grin. Let's do it yo. Naruto very badly tried to rap out. B and A gave Naruto a look that made the boy sink into himself and sweat drop as he rubbed the back of his head. Sorry. B broke first as he started to laugh and even A chuckle a little bit. God, you're wearing off on even him now. What is this world turning to? A turned around shaking his head before leaving. B looked up at Naruto. Man Mr. 9, that was horrible. You ain't got no game. Naruto chuckled. That's your strong suit, now let's get going. B smiled and the two took off, ready for anything. 2 days later. Calm down Haim, now we know where he is and what's going on. You should know how personally he feels about this. Remember that sand kid who's the Kazekage? It's because of Naruto he's not crazy. Naruto had me fix the kid's shoddy seal and help him tame his beast, because he couldn't sleep without the Baijuo taking over his body for a few hours. Naruto feels a close connection to all the Jinchuriki. I'm with you. I don't agree with how he's going about this, but I understand. I'm sending a team out to get him back if he thinks he can parade around the continent without supervision. He's wrong. I'm sorry Jiraiya, I love the kid, but I can't let him do whatever he wants either. Suand was firm and Jiraiya sighed. I got one thing that'll make you back off. Suand raised an eyebrow, ready to scoff at whatever the man could say. The Hokage also sent over a letter to form an alliance because of the heart that Naruto has shown him. Tsunade seemed to be a little shell-shocked. All she could do was blink. Did you just say yes I did? After the Hokage located Killer Bee and Naruto and saw the way the two were and how Naruto was, something made him change. It's why he even let his little brother leave with Naruto. He's willing to sit down with you and talk. Fucking brat being too goddamn lucky FOIR his own good, Tsunade mumbled. Meanwhile her lover laughed as he kissed her forehead. Fine, I'm still sending a team, but it'll be to back him up. Get Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Sakura. Knowing that dumbass he'll need a medic, and Sakura is second only to me, she's already surpassed Shizune. Jiraiya grinned, I'll get them now, but that message is a little old. Do you think they'll be able to find him? We have no choice, at least if we make it a mission he won't be held liable if anything happens. But going rogue like this without permission can make things bad. Jiraiya nodded before leaving to get the 3 shinobi stated previously. Honestly he hoped they don't find him. Naruto is in a league of his own as it is, Sasuke and Itachi both having the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan changes things and they are both stronger too, but Naruto is just a monster when it comes to strength. I'm sorry about the interruption, but it's all taken care of. Now the man said, his usually heavy gruff voice now sounding more free and feminine. HN, those guys gave you quite a bit of trouble didn't they Sasori? His partner stated smirking. Those Kumonin would have defeated you with their lightning-style Dadari. You can't say anything, and that one character was oddly strong. He almost got the best of me. He will make a fine collection. They called him Obi, I'll call him Denko-shi, Lightning Death. If you two are done talking now, we have to restart the entire process since you had distractions. Pain was not happy about this. They almost had the Nibi sealed until the location that the two were at was found and the process got interrupted to stop the ninja from taking back their comrade. He always knew this was a possibility, but with how difficult it was to capture this Jinchuriki, he needed to hurry up and be done with her. I'm sorry Pain Sama, both men replied, knowing better than to upset him. Dadari quickly closed back up their hideout, layering it with genjutsu to better hide it while Sasori prepared the jutsu to seal the Baijuo. Alright, let's finish this up now, Sasori said as Dadari joined the man again. Pain opened his eyes, activating his Rinnegan, and the process started. Sasori linked everyone with the rings together, and everyone focused on the sealing. All they needed was 52 hours and the Baijuo would be sealed. Nagato was already in a bad mood, because he wasn't entirely sure what the right thing to do was anymore. He just wanted to make Yahiko proud, but now he wonders if he has gone too far. The man shook his head while Konan looked at her friend, knowing just what was plaguing his mind. She wished she could be more help, but for now she was too busy watching Madara's moves because she never once trusted the man. You sure this is the right way to go? Oh, I'm positive. I can sense so much negative energy here, it's insane, plus I can faintly sense the two tails. She's still alive but barely. We need to her. Naruto stopped in his tracks as he and B both looked at the battlefield in front of them. B snapped a tree in half. He was so angry. Half a dozen Kumonin lay dead, some ripped to pieces, and Obi was in the center of all the bodies with multiple stab wounds, his torso and chest, a pool of dried blood around him. B walked up to his student and got down on one knee, placing his hand on the boy's chest. I'm so sorry Obi, I hope you can rest now. Don't worry, we'll save Nichin and avenge you. Naruto didn't have to look at his friend to know he was trying to hide the tears rolling down his face. B had gone out of his way to raise this kid and make him ungodly strong, and yet here he lay defeated. Naruto tried his best to calm down as his yellowish chakra cloak formed around him and he looked up. B was standing now. "Let's go kill these clowns, Mr. 9." Naruto shot forward, B following close behind. Naruto saw what he believed to be the entrance. The side of the cliff, but he could sense through it was actually a mountain. Someone was using a genjutsu. Naruto prepared a Baijuu bomb Rasengan and tore forward the attack, making contact in the side of the mountain, exploding inwards. "Well, looky here, we got 2 more Jinchuriki who are already giving up for us," Tadari said without moving. "Just give us a few more minutes, we're almost done here, and it would be a real nuisance to start over again. Just gives us, I don't know, like a half hour. Go get some food and come back, I promise to still be here," the man said, taking this all as a joke. "Shut up, Tadari, this is the 8 and 9 tails, and from the looks of it the Kyuubi Jinchuriki has become a perfect Jinchuriki also. This won't be easy." Pain watched this all and seemed to be indifferent. Meanwhile Toby was infuriated, knowing he would have to join this battle. B was the first to move as he charged forward. Tadari sighed as he and Sasori easily moved out of the way in time. B chased down Sasori while Naruto was already on top of Tadari, surprising the man with his superior speed. "You goddamn incompetent fools," Toby said as he materialized in the location, his Sharingan blazing. "Shut the fuck up, Obito," Naruto said as he kicked Tadari into the wall, making the nin cough up blood. Tadari smirked though. "Katsu," the man said as he coughed out blood, Naruto going wide-eyed as he looked down to see a half-dozen spiders on his stomach before they exploded. "Toby, you want to take lead while I back you up?" Tadari said he hoped the man would let it happen since he had a broken arm and few broken ribs after that kick. "Stay the fuck out of my way or you might die. Go help Sasori, he won't be able to stop the 8 tails." The man didn't argue. He's never heard the man get serious like that and decided it was best to listen now and ask questions later. "How do you know my name? The things I know about you is astounding. You're just lost in the dark. Rin would be ashamed of the man you became after you survived the incident. You didn't owe Madurai anything after he died. But this isn't the time for talking, let's fight," Naruto said, charging down the man only to phase through him. Obito smirked as he gripped his chains that he used in the battle against this boy's father. He waited for the right second before he materialized, throwing his arms forward, the chains wrapping around Naruto's neck and throwing the boy backwards. Naruto tumbled into a wall before the cloud dust could settle. Obito appeared above him, his body swirling as he held a Fuma Shuriken in his hand ready to cut the boy down. Naruto quickly made arms out of his chakra cloak that were holding Rasengans, one of the small balls connecting against Obito's arm. Obito's teeth gritted as he held his arm. He could already feel Harshima's cells healing him though. He looked up to see Naruto and 3 clones trying to attack the man. He smirked under his mask as they all phased through his body. He used the moment to get his breath before quickly ducking and counter-attacking, destroying 2 of the clones in one hit with his chains, and kicking the real Naruto in the face. The boy smirked as he grabbed the man, not letting go so he couldn't phase away. Obito went to attack again but got kicked in the head by the 3rd clone he had forgotten about. Naruto used that moment to swing the man around before throwing him against the floor, quickly coming back with a Baijuu bomb Rasengan. The attack made contact with the floor as Obito used the half-second he had to make himself intangible again. The entire cave shook from the shockwave of the attack. The cave started to fall in. Naruto's eyes went wide as he looked for the exit, hoping to make it out in time. B thought of a better way out and turned into his Baijuu, destroying everything around him. B roared to life as the deep voice of the 8 tails vibrated all around, before a series of explosions went off at his head from Tadari attacking. Sasori was meanwhile getting his puppets ready to try and attack the creature. Naruto, Sasori, Tadari and Obito all successfully made it outside the crumbling mountain, practically unscathed. B, now in his full Baijuu mode, was a sight to behold. Naruto would have joined him, but one Baijuu could cause enough damage by itself, having 2 around, and he didn't want to risk hurting bystanders by accident, even if the nearest town was 2 hours away. Naruto could see the worry in Sasori's eyes. Meanwhile Tadari looked excited before he summoned his giant clay dragon. "Time for you to back me up, Sasradono," Tadari said as he flew forward with the dragon at the giant monster in front of them. Naruto looked around for Obito before finally finding him. The man was holding Yugito in his arms. "I barely saved her, I hope you know that. That attack almost killed her, but don't worry, I'll keep her safe for now," the man said before sucking the girl into his other dimension. "Now how about we continue this fight? Let's see how much you truly want the girl back," Obito said before charging Naruto down. "Alright Naruto, it's all set. Get rid of your clone," Kurama said to his partner who was charging down the man who has caused so much trouble. Naruto did as instructed and felt the senjutsu fill his body. Naruto's eyes changed as they accommodate him being in both Kyuubi mode and Sage mode. Naruto went for the first attack. He felt off though. He could sense the negative energy with the Kyuubi mode, but with his Sage mode he couldn't sense any living part of the man he could physically see. Naruto phased through the man and that's when he felt it. He could sense parts of Obito becoming tangible again. Naruto firmly planted his feet down before doing a backflip, the chains just barely missing him as Obito tried to catch the boy once more with them. He then sensed all of Obito back on this plane, and that's when he saw his Sharingan change just slightly. The veins that were around Obito's face were gone and it seemed like he was no longer using his Kamui. Naruto didn't waste this opportunity and used his superior speed to appear in front of the man and successfully hit him 5 times in rapid succession. He would have gotten more but the ground became unstable from the battle behind him and he fell of course from his attack as Obito fell onto his back. Naruto turned around for a second to see Jiraiya throwing out his C3 explosives at B, and some of them were doing some real damage, but B seemed to be taking it just fine as he attacked back. Sasori had the 3rd Kazekage out with him and was using that to fight. Naruto remembered from Sakura how dangerous that man was, and was thankful both he and B had their Bijuu to help fight against the poison, but didn't want to take any chances either as he made a clone to go run off and tell B to be more careful. Naruto turned back around and saw that Obito was gone. He could sense all the negative energy around him everywhere and it was throwing his senses off for where the man could be. Never take your eyes off an opponent, he heard the voice behind him and went to throw a punch as he jumped away, but hit nothing but air. Obito materialized behind Naruto and caught him in his chains, wrapping the boy up completely. Naruto tried to break through the chains but failed, and was soon met with a kunai through his kidney, and a couple in his legs and arms. Naruto fell onto the ground struggling as he used Kurama's chakra to push the weapons out of him and close the wounds. So it looks like you're not too hard to beat. Those 3 are plenty distracted now, let's just put you to sleep for a little while, Obito said as he activated his Tsukuyomi on Naruto. Naruto's eyes went wide before his body finally went limp, the chakra cloak leaving his body and the only markings left behind being his Sage mode. Obito wasted no time as he grabbed the body and left, not too long after a Bijuu bomb going off blowing up the entire area. B. Something's wrong, Yuki said as the man was looking around for any signs of Akatsuki after using his Bijuu bomb. What you talking about? All I know is that these fools are gonna be taken down so we can get Sis back home. B responded to his partner, still trying to make sure there were no traces of the Akatsuki around. Naruto is gone. I can't sense him or the Kyuubi anymore. The Nibi disappeared as well. I think something happened. B's eyes went wide as realization dawned on him and he couldn't see the boy anywhere. He was scared he may have killed him, but Yuki spoke before B could overreact. They're not dead, they just aren't here. If Naruto died I would still be able to sense the Kyuubi because in 9 years he would reform right back here, back into existence. No, I think Obito may have gotten him. This isn't good, we need to do something. First let's make sure these fools are dead so they don't surprise me, then we'll go find that other guy whose Sharingan works like Obito here, Naruto-sensei B said as his beast nodded. Yuki could sense how much B was distressed by this. The man was so mad about Yugito being taken, he didn't realize how far away he was from reality once the battle started. B looked around the area for a few more minutes before reverting back to his human form, content with the fact that Akatsuki either ran away or died with his last attack. As B started to head into the direction that he believed to be heading towards the Land of Fire, he was intercepted by Sasuke Uchiha and his crew. "Where's Naruto? We were told he was with you." Sasuke's Sharingan was already blazed to life, analyzing the area around them and looking for signs of life. The masked man from Akatsuki captured him. He has a Sharingan and sucked Naruto and my sister Yugito Ni into some alternate dimension where he can access them as he pleases. I was heading to Konoha now because I need to meet with Hokage, Jiraiya, and Kakashi, B said, dropping his antics as now he needed to hurry. So either get out of the way or lead the way, B said, showing he meant business as he opened his body ready to fight. Sasuke sighed. Before his hands blurred through hand seals, B jumped back ready to attack before he heard the jutsu name. Summoning jutsu, Sasuke shouted as 3 huge eagles caught as they appeared. "We just ran all the way here. When we saw you fighting we knew Naruto had to be here. But now we have no more time to waste. Everyone get on an eagle so we can get back home." Sasuke turned his attention to his summons. "Thank you 3 for showing up. I need to get back to my home village Konoha." The eagles nodded in understanding and didn't say anything. Once everyone was on an eagle, the 3 deadly birds took off with frightening speed. The one thought racing through everyone's mind right now was the same. They just wanted Naruto safe. The entire village was in a state of dismay. as the rumor of what happened to Naruto spread like wildfire. The ones who seemed most affected though were Hinata, Jiraiya, and Kakashi. All three didn't know how to respond to the news of what happened. Hinata refused to believe it was true, and an uncanny anger arose inside of her as she threw herself into intense training, pushing her body further than it ever has been. All she could think of was the worst and she didn't want to believe it to be true, so she tried to ignore it. Kakashi was another story. He could understand how it could be true. He saw the memories for himself firsthand from Naruto. He knows that the boy overestimated himself fighting against Obito, and that's most likely why he lost. The best way for him to have fought the man would have been with himself. Kakashi knows he could have used his Mangekyo to negate Obito's and turn the tide in his fight. Kakashi was beating himself up for not being there, and as always someone near and dear to him is gone. Probably forever. It had only been a few days, but everyone was taking a toll and Kakashi was really beating himself up. Jiraiya could be found outside the village. He refused to let Naruto be alone wherever he was. Jiraiya was pulling in every favor he had to try and find his boy, following up on any lead he could, and questioning every man in his network to see if they knew anything. He couldn't bear to know that Naruto had actually lost and was going to do anything he could to get him back. Something wasn't right and he needed to figure it out. For the last few years everything had been going more than perfect and now things were suddenly changing fast and he was worried. Naruto had used the jutsu to bring him back to fix things, to start over and have a second chance at everything, but something was wrong. The only person who could give them answers had been dead for a very long time. He just hoped he could find something about the jutsu, but there probably wasn't anything that old. Even sealing jutsu hadn't been created yet, so the chance of him finding anything was slim to none. Jiraiya didn't care though, he needed to find something out, and his best bet is to start talking with Baijuo. If that was even possible. I thought I was going to capture the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, Pain stated as he saw that boy in half a dozen different chakra bindings and seals, making him unable to move, or even stay conscious. Yay, well, he tried to stop another fucking sealing process, and he mastered the Kyuubi's chakra, so he needed to be stopped and I got there first. Stop acting like a child, you can get the 8 tails if you really want to go destroy a major village that bad. Kumo is nice this time of year, I hear anyways. Obito was already really annoyed. If not for this damned brat he would already be done. He got lucky being able to control both the boy and the Kyuubi with his Mangekyo. It took a lot more effort than he wanted, but it all worked out. Now he just needed to finish sealing the last couple Baijuo away and then he can be done with this brat. He also needed to bring back Madara soon, but he's really not looking forward to that. Watch your tone with me, Madara or not, I'm not going to sit back and let you treat me like trash, Nagato stated, surprising Obito with the man's tone. He was usually so obedient. You better remember why you're so powerful to begin with. Those are my Rinnegan in your head, child, Obito spat out. In reality they were about the same age, but Nagato didn't need to know the full truth. If you want to keep me on your side then stop being such a shit, or else we will have to see who truly is stronger, you or I, and Kisame is loyal to me, so you'll have your hands full with just the two of us. The two stared each other down for a minute before Obito sighed. Fighting would get him nowhere, he still had Baijuo to seal. I'm sorry. Better? The man's gaze didn't change any, but his apology was half-hearted at best. Everything has been stressful lately, let's collect the last of the Baijuo and then everything will be fine. I'll send Zetsu to check out Kumo. If the Hachibi is there I'll go myself, if not I'll wait, Nagato said. Obito nodded before walking away from the man. Things were getting tense and Nagato was getting hard to control, and even he had to admit that he would be tough to fight. He had no doubt that he would win, but if Konan and Kisame joined the fight, even he didn't want to push things too far. 3 SSS rank Shinobi wouldn't be an easy fight. Nagato didn't like this. Things were off, and the more he found himself listening to Obito, the more his words aggravated him. For some reason he kept feeling like this was all wrong. The more they captured the Jinchuriki, the more destruction he saw being caused. He wondered if they were actually doing good. All he saw was people becoming more and more hurt. Nagato grabbed his head as he felt a headache coming on. All he could think about was Yahiko. He didn't know why, but he saw his old friend sitting there with himself and Konan laughing and enjoying life. Nowadays, he couldn't even think of the last time he smiled, or even saw Konan smile, let alone laugh. He named himself Pain to show the world the pain they caused him and his friend, to show that war and pillagang only brought hurt. He took in Obito because his plan sounded real and that it could help, but now all he can think about is those he's hurting. How could what he's doing be right if all it leads to is more pain? Nagato looked down at Naruto lying there all alone. He knew Obito had disappeared and wouldn't return for some time. This boy, he had heard, had a way with words. Maybe he should talk with him, as it is they are both Uzumakis. Nagato moved towards the boy with Yahiko's body, seeing as how his main body was too frail to walk on its own, until he was above the boy before sitting on the ground in front of him. "It's time we talked, Nine Tails." Naruto didn't respond. Nagato slapped the boy on the head hard. Naruto groaned, and tried to open his eyes, but he felt so weak that he couldn't even do that. "Of course all of these damned seals are making you so weak you can even talk. Fine, I'll get rid of this one." Nagato, being an Uzumaki, who was trained by Jiraiya, had actually picked up Fuinjutsu years ago. He rewrote one of the weaker seals on Naruto's body so that he could at least stay conscious. He was confident enough that Naruto wouldn't be able to convert enough chakra to actually fight, not like it would even matter. Once more Nagato hit Naruto. The boy slowly came to. Once he got his bearings, he realized what was going on. "So this is really it, huh? After fucking everything, I lost track of what I was supposed to do and got caught by fucking Obito. What do you want, Nagato? Going to seal me up now? Revive the Jubi and destroy the world? Just get it done with," Naruto said, surprisingly looking defeated, a look no one has ever truly seen on his face. "I want to talk with you, Uzumaki." To Uzumaki, Naruto frowned upon hearing this, but decided to see where it could go. "Why do you fight against us? What drives you so hard? I want to understand. Why not give in and help us with our goals?" Naruto scoffed at hearing this. "Are you serious? After how much trouble the Sage of Sixth Paths went to splitting the Jubi up and sealing the husk into the goddamn moon, you want to know why I'd stop you? Reviving the Jubi will do nothing for you, even if you could control its power enough for one of you to become its Jinchuriki. Then what? Just oppress the entire world, and kill anyone who doesn't listen to you? That's not a world of peace, but a world of fear. No one would be happy again, children wouldn't play, families wouldn't be whole, the world would be bleak and gray, and that's if things go to plan. Let's say you can't control the beast, then you have the goddamn Jubi rampaging and destroying everything and everyone, undoing everything the sage did." Naruto looked up at Nagato with hate in his eyes. "I don't like feeling like this, I don't like to hate, but your group makes me so mad because you just destroy and kill needlessly, instead of finding a real kind of peace like Yahiko wanted. You chose this route. It's like shitting all over the dead friend whose body you use." Naruto spat out. Pain visibly flinched hearing this. "We have done a lot wrong, but how do you know so much? How do you know about me? Yahiko, our plans with the Jubi? There's no way you should have knowledge of any of that." Naruto laughed. "Oh, why does it even fucking matter anymore? It's not like you'll believe me. I'm from the fucking future. I know how this is all supposed to turn out. In my future, you lost. You attacked my village, killing almost everyone I know and leveling the place almost to the ground after killing Jiraiya-sensei. And then after I beat all 6 paths and talking to the real you, did you use your soul resurrection jutsu to revive everyone you killed? After that happened, a summit was called because Sasuke Uchiha was allied with Akatsuki, and captured Octopops, or so he thought. The 4th Great Ninja War was started, Akatsuki versus the 5 Great Ninja Villages plus the samurai. Is that enough, or do you want more?" Naruto asked. Pain stared at Naruto for a minute, deep in thought, thinking about a correct response. "How can I know you're not making this all up seriously? Do you not see how strong I am even though I am so young? How almost all the Jinchuriki have had an upper hand? How we have all been more easily avoiding your group and fighting back?" Naruto was making strong points here. Pain wasn't sure how to argue it. "Explain how we got Itachi back on our side, or how I beat Kisame. So let's say this is all true. If you truly are from the future, why come back? If you won the war and beat Obito, why come back at all? What happened? It wasn't hard to miss." Naruto's entire demeanor changed. It was something he could never forget though. Naruto hated to remember what happened that night, even though he came to terms with what happened. It still haunted him. Sasuke was warped, his mind wasn't his. After the war he left to try and find himself. "I beat him and we set the world free." Years went by and I scarcely saw him. I had just been appointed Hokage and my son was born. One night Sasuke came by the village. I was in bed asleep when something felt off. I went to go check. Sasuke was a shinobi only on par with myself. No one stood a chance against him. He slaughtered the people of my village and killed my wife and son in front of me. I lost it and we fought. It lasted hours, if not days. I can't even remember anymore. By the time it was finished, the Land of Fire was just another battlefield. We leveled half the country in our battle, but I finally killed him." Naruto stopped talking for a moment to catch his breath and calm himself down. He hated thinking about it because his Sasuke here and now was no longer that person. "You found a way back and decided to fix everything, huh?" Pain stated. Naruto shook his head. "Yes. Well, you haven't done such a great job at it. I guess some things are just destined to happen." The man stood up and Naruto knew it was time. He tried his best and in the end it wasn't even close to being enough. They were going to lose and Kaguya was going to return and take over the world. Naruto lowered his head waiting for whatever to happen. A few moments went by and all of a sudden he felt his strength returning to him. He looked up at Pain wondering what had changed, but also ready to fight. "You've given me more than enough, come we're going to get my main body and Konan. From now on we are no longer a part of Akatsuki." "What?" Naruto was more than confused by this. He was glad of course, but very confused. "We don't have too much time to talk about it, just be quiet and follow me." Naruto closed his mouth getting serious, though he couldn't help smirking. This may be enough for things to change. The two quickly moved through the building. Pain was leading of course seeing as he knew the facility better. It didn't take long to get to their desired location. Konan turned around to greet her friend, only shocked to see Naruto with him. She quickly jumped to action getting ready to attack before Pain stopped her. "Kanana stop, it's okay I said I'm free." The woman's eyes grew as her shock became more than obvious. "Does that mean we're finally leaving?" Pain nodded and Konan fell to the ground, her shoulders settling down as she relaxed. "You've finally returned Nagato. I was so worried the good in you would never come back, it's why I never left you because I couldn't leave you alone." Pain picked up the woman letting her hug the body of their dead friend, and with Yahiko's body he hugged her back and spoke, "It's going to be okay, but it's time for me to stop using these puppets, it's time for me to be whole again. Say your goodbyes to Yahiko because he won't be coming with us." Konan smirked, "I said goodbye a long time ago. I'll take control from here and meet you in your room." Pain smirked and all of a sudden Yahiko's body went limp and fell onto the ground. Konan walked over to the body and sealed it up. She couldn't leave the corpse of her friend here. It was time he was given a proper burial. Naruto meanwhile was ecstatic. He couldn't believe this was finally happening. Something right, and not something small either. Without the Rinnegan, they can't seal any of the Jinchuriki. Hell, maybe Nagato can help unseal the Baiju they already sealed up. Konan gave Naruto a look and the two left, going to where the real body of Nagato was. It was time to leave. "So this is really happening, you guys are just joining us like that?" Naruto asked. He was still skeptical, but he's seen crazier happen. "I know how odd it seems, but yes. I never wanted Akatsuki to go the way it did. It was supposed to help bring peace, not cause pain, but after Yahiko died, Nagato lost himself in vengeance. Madara used Nagato, and I couldn't leave him. I kept trying to push him to do the right thing, but I also played a part. Unfortunately, I did anything he asked of me. I'm glad to see Nagato doing the right thing for the first time in a long time. We'll have to be careful leaving, we have some safe places set up we can hide out in for a while." Though Naruto cut her off. "No, you guys are coming with me to the Leaf Village where you'll meet with Tsuandebakan and Jiraiya-sensei," Naruto said firmly. Konan nearly tripped over herself as she felt her throat get choked up. She hadn't seen or thought about her sensei in a very long time. She knew one day she may even have to fight him if Nagato asked, but she didn't think she would have to face him and ask for forgiveness. That somehow seemed harder. "He won't accept us, they'll probably just banish us and lock us in a dungeon and take away Nagato's eyes." Konan could only think of the worst, but Naruto put a hand on her shoulder. Somehow just his presence reminded her of Yahiko. It shocked her how much that simple gesture calmed her down before the boy spoke. "You must not remember our sensei then. Arozenin might be a tough guy, but he loves you guys. He didn't even know you guys were alive until recently. He learned during the war that all three of you had died and it broke him for a long time. If anything, he'll be beyond relieved to see you and Nagato. Just apologize and help us beat Obito, do the right thing and I promise it will be alright. It may take time to get his trust back, but Jiraiya is a forgiving man." Naruto gave her a smile and Konan placed her hand upon Naruto's. She didn't even know what to say or how to act. This boy that just a few days ago, hell a few hours ago she was ready to kill him if it meant peace, and now here he is talking to her like they're old friends. It amazed her how much he reminded her of Yahiko. It made her eyes water thinking about her old friend. She knew the two of them would have been best friends if they had ever met. Naruto opened his eyes, still grinning and looking cheerful, but a seriousness to him that amazed her. "You're something else, Naruto Uzumaki," Kanana said before she kissed the boy's cheek, leaving him freaking out and stuttering. He was trying to get something out about having a girlfriend and not wanting to date older women, but she laughed before telling him to shut up. The two continued onward through the building for another minute before coming to a dead end. Konan pushed through, showing that her paper was making a fake wall that was hiding Nagato's real body. Nagato opened his eyes, his Rinnegan glowing in the darkroom. "I'm glad you're here, now let us hurry and leave before Obito returns." The two nodded and came over to the man to help him out of his chair. Nagato put his hand on Naruto's shoulder though, and before Naruto could stop him, Nagato pulled out a serious amount of chakra and life force, rejuvenating himself. Naruto quickly jumped back and pulled out a kunai. What the hell? Nagato put up his hand. I'm sorry, but I figured it would be best if I could move on my own, and you're one of the few people I could do that to and not have to worry about killing. Meanwhile, Konan was surprised to see her old friend look like his old self. Just a minute ago he looked like a frail, dying old man. Now he was young, the red in his hair returned, his body no longer malnourished. Just ask next time. Geez, I was ready to fight you, and that is not something I want to do if I can help it, Naruto stated. Nagato laughed. For the first time in years he laughed. He reminds me of Yahiko, doesn't he? Konan the woman smiled and replied in kind. Nagato got out of the chair on his own, walking for the first time in a decade, if not longer. Without another word spoke, the three of them left Tommy, not knowing what would come next, but hoping it would be enough. It would be another day and a half before Obito realized what happened and that Nagato left, and he brought Naruto with them. He was glad he had the man seal the two-tailed Baijiu before all of this happened, but he was beyond enraged. He had contingency plans for just about anything, even if he had died somehow, but not for this. He believed in his ability to beat Nagato in a one-on-one fight, maybe even two-on-one if he had Konan or someone else, but without the Rinnegan in his own eye he didn't know how well he would hold up. He needed to go and find some people, plans were changing, and he needed to get his hands on the Rinnegan if he was going to seal the rest of the Baijuo. Nagato, Kanana and Naruto in that day and a half had made a lot of progress towards the Leaf Village. Naruto had thought about using the Toads to get a message to Jiraiya, but didn't want to risk Obito finding them out in the open. They all three agreed it was best to avoid a fight, even if the odds were on their side. They were going to travel by foot, and camp out in the forest as need be. They were making really good progress, but were still on high alert. Until they got back to the Leaf, everyone was an enemy. Naruto couldn't help but ask the two all kinds of questions. He never really learned much about the group. Jiraiya told him a little bit this time around, but he was curious to know things from their side now that they had more time. He remembered most of the story from Nagato that he heard before, but now there were more details, and he learned more things. Konan chirped in constantly too. It was nice seeing them like this. He could tell that they were happier just telling the stories, and for once being free to make their own decisions without being tricked by anyone. The travel back thankfully was safe. It was nighttime when they came upon the village, and not early either. Naruto knew there was going to be a lot of shit given, and that he would have a lot to explain. He just hoped that Jiraiya was around. Naruto led the trio around the gate guards and headed to the Hokage's office as quickly as possible. It took only a few minutes to get there. Naruto looked at the clock outside the Hokage's door, and saw that it read 2 a.m. He sighed before knocking hard on the door. After hearing an enter, he opened the door, showing himself with Nagato and Konan. He saw tears start swelling up in Tsunade's eyes. "Hey Baka," Naruto said with worry in his voice. It wasn't that long ago he came to terms with the fact he was actually going to lose and die. Now here he was in front of someone he considered family. Before Naruto knew it, Tsunade had jumped the desk and had her arms around Naruto, trying not to let her tears drop. "You fucking idiot, you could have died. Who would have taken over for me then if that happened, huh? Itachi doesn't want this fucking job, and Kakashi would sooner hightail it out of here than become Hokage." She was trying to joke her way out of the situation. Naruto just smiled and hugged the women back. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to worry. I wasn't in the right headspace, but I'm back now, and I brought some friends. Is Jiraiya around? He needs to see this for himself. Both of you need to be around for this, but I'm more than you," Naruto said. It was then that Tsunade looked up and saw the guests standing behind her godson. She then saw the Rinnegan and she stumbled backwards, realizing who it was. "You're those kids Jiraiya stayed back to protect. I'd never forget those eyes of yours." Tsunade gave Naruto a look before sighing. "You are a very fucking weird kid. I don't know anyone who causes as many problems as you do and also manages to bring people to our village who could cause more harm than good if they chose to. Jiraiya isn't in the village, but I can call him back soon. As for these two, since they are Akatsuki, they will have to be in TNI chained and locked until Jiraiya gets here and we can all talk." Tsunade didn't sound like she wanted to budge on this issue. "That's not a good idea. Please let them stay with me. We'll be at my dad's house and we won't leave. I don't want anyone knowing I'm home yet anyways, not until we talk with Jiraiya, because I have some plans, but I need everyone around to fully explain it." Tsunade gave the boy a look. "I don't know if I can okay this, Naruto. I get wanting to keep secrecy, but this is a whole different level. Him there with those eyes gives him the power just to level our entire village. I'm half tempted to take those eyes of his out just for safety," Tsunade stated with worry in her voice. "If it makes everyone easier, you can take my eyes. All I ask is for a new set, and if everything gets cleared that I may be able to get them back." If I can't be trusted though I understand, I've caused a lot of pain to a lot of people and it's time to right my wrongs. Everyone, including Naruto, was surprised by this. Konan started to protest but Nagato stopped her. Don't worry Kanana, everything will be alright, all I ask is that Naruto here gets to be the protector of my eyes. As another Uzumaki, I trust him. After we talked. I know he's the child of prophecy Jiraiya told me about years ago. I thought that I may be that child due to the eyes I have, but I realize with all I have done, that it can't be me. Naruto is the savior we need, so I want him to protect them, whether it's in his head or a jar or in a seal. I don't care, I trust he'll do good by me. Don't worry, I won't wear your eyes. I'll put them in a protective seal that'll stop any kind of decay or damage to them, Naruto said as he pulled out paper and ink, and started writing kanji. You'll have to go without sight for a few days, then while I find a set of eyes for you. Eyes aren't really something that's easy to come by, Tsunade said. It's fine, with my Uzumaki blood/lineage, I can accept anything you put into my head, my body will acclimate to it no matter what. Us Uzumakis aren't just fast healers, we're the best healers, Nagato said. Tsunade nodded, feeling off about this. The entire situation was just weird, but she walked over to the boy and activated her jutsu. Her hands glowed green as she numbed the nerves around his eyes and started to carefully sever all the nerves so as to properly remove the eyes without damaging anything. She didn't want to take any risks. After about 10 minutes had gone by, she finally finished and handed the eyes to Naruto very carefully, who sealed away the eyes. She then called in Anbu, who came in with chakra cuffs and took away the 2 liters of Akatsuki. It's always something with you, why do you always have to cause so much trouble? So many problems for everyone? I love you Gaki. But seriously, you need to get your shit together, Tsunade said in a very serious voice. Naruto lowered his head, sighing. You're right, I just want to protect everyone. I hold the weight of the world on my shoulders and keep disregarding the people around me, because I know how strong I am, how not that many people truly are on my level. I know how I can make a real difference, so I hate sitting still. I forget I can't do everything, Naruto said, being honest with the women. Just get out of here. Plenty of your friends including your girlfriend are out of the village right now trying to find you, Tsunade said, making Naruto flinch at the harshness of her words. When Jiraiya gets back is when you'll be allowed to leave your home, until then go wait for me to call you back. If Hinata gets back, just know I'll have to tell her you're home, she's living there anyways and we'll find out. Naruto nodded and turned around to leave, upset at himself for causing so much trouble over the last few weeks. I love you Gaki. Please be safe, I don't want to lose you too. Naruto nodded his head as he left, tears rolling down his cheek. Naruto silently made his way back to his home, when a thought struck him. Something Hiruzen told him years ago that he forgot about. He knew it was late but he needed answers and that's what he was gonna get. Naruto quickly made his way over to the Sarutobi compound. All the lights were off. He knew Asuma wasn't here due to his relationship with Kurenai, and he could easily get around Konohamaru. Naruto broke into the home easily enough and quickly figured out which room belonged to the late Kage before knocking on the door. Who's there? Hiruzen was a lot of things, but he knew Konohamaru was too old to be wanting his grandpa. At the same time, an assassin wouldn't knock and Anbu would just come into his room. It's me, Gigi. Naruto's voice, he couldn't believe he was hearing it. It seemed like it had been years since he last heard that boy's voice. Hiruzen quickly put a robe on and opened the door. Naruto boy, what are you doing here so late at night? I was ready to fight. If one thing, retirement has given me the chance to get back into fighting shape, and I doubt you would have one. But what do you need? When did you come home? Last I heard you had been kidnapped by Akatsuki, everyone's been worried. Gigi, I don't know why I'm just now remembering this, but years ago when I was getting ready for the Chunin exams I asked you about an Uzumaki compound, you said I would get it once I was made Chunin. I never received the key to that compound. Not only that, but Arashi was never even offered it when he had the CRA enacted on him. Thankfully Sasuke shared some of his old homes. What happened? Why is this a memory I'm struggling to remember? Naruto was at a loss for answers. Hiruzen stood for a moment trying to remember, but he couldn't, and he knows this isn't because of age. I can't seem to recall ever having this conversation with you, but I know for a fact there is an Uzumaki compound here on the outskirts of the village. I will consult with Tsuand in the morning to find out more, but this isn't good. Me forgetting things at my age is normal, but you shouldn't be fighting to remember this conversation. Someone's altering with our memories, and if that's true, what else are they changing? Naruto quickly threw back the cage as he jumped out of the way as a couple of senbon lodged into the floor, almost hitting them. Naruto could see that they were laced with poison. They may not have killed him, but the old man would have definitely been done for. Naruto saw someone running away and quickly took chase, with the old Hokage quickly following behind him. Root Hiruzen yelled and that told Naruto everything he needed to know. Naruto stopped chasing the agent and Hiruzen landed next to him. If this is Root, then we should find Danzo. It looks like he was trying to put you to sleep, Naruto stated. The Hokage nodded and with a hand seal both of them shushined to the Hokage's office. Oh god, now what? Tsunade said looking at the two men who appeared in her office.
That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.